of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve this.
Jeez, okay. I'm getting
This
shut
all
out.
is gonna go today really fast.
Shut
One
down.
second.
Chris.
The motion to approve the
So
minutes.
moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Gotcha, Abby.
Motion approved.
There, I'm done.
Communications.
John and I met with O'Brien to look at the basement computer setup, and he agrees that it's definitely a need, not a want, and we need to get it put together. He is going to work with IT Solutions, our network company, and discuss with them what they produce and use and what he can get for assistance from them as far as trying to develop a plan and a scope of work, and he's gonna provide that scope of work with a bid once he has his information. Then he also realizes that it's going to be an extensive amount of money, and we will have to probably put it out for bid for having to review. And he understands that. But he seemingly knows what he's doing, just visiting with him. I feel confident. He did a nice job with that over at the engineer's office, so he's a good in-county prospect to go ahead and get started. He thinks that he could have a scope of work put together for us by the end of July.
This, basically, it's a cleaning house, right? Straightening wires out, organizing them.
Identifying what we have, there's some wires when we go to our new system, our digital in July, that we can remove as well. There's a lot of that on both sides of the wall there. I got a feeling when he's done, it'll look crisp and clean, and whoever does it, new going forward and safe and secure. And that's,
It's kind of a bird's nest down there now.
oh my God, Kevin, it's horrible. Yeah, we've all seen it. It's an embarrassment to me to.
But I mean, that's basically what it is. It's an organizing and neating up of how the wires go in there, right?
Correct. Just identification, having a new rack, a new cupboard system, what have you, and then we may take a look at what it would take to make it humidity controlled to protect it. So we did have that meeting. That was pretty extensive.
Did you meet with?
I'm sorry,
Who'd you meet with?
is it John?
John O'Brien.
John O'Brien, yeah, and John Keaton and myself.
From my conservation, had a little interesting weekend.
Did you see that it wasn't marijuana? It was shrooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
where'd you see that at?
Josh posted on the EMA page warning people about it, and then I saw people were commenting.
Okay. But
So,
anyway, had two
There's
kids.
gotta be more to the story. Come on, this has gotta be better than this.
oh,
We really can't say.
Oh,
Anyway, two kids, or I shouldn't say adults, went missing Saturday night out of the conservation. And one of them they found in the woods, the other one was found face down by the lake. About all I know right now, a little bit more, but it was had to get the drone out, which is, drone found one, so I mean, it's important, I guess, that drones did pay for itself
yeah.
in that situation. And I know they're expensive and everything, but they would never found him without it.
but they were alive.
Last I knew. So, but he was, the one they found down by the lake, he was very unresponsive. He would have probably passed away within the next hour if they wouldn't have found him.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think that's our combination of our different groups coming together to work to find things. So I thought that was important to know. But other than that, yesterday was a EasyCog meeting for housing. We went ahead and approved the work at the Victor Senior Housing Center.
Did you get it all?
Got it all with some stipulations that if one of the residents doesn't quit smoking in there, he gets evicted.
Oh,
If they think that's affecting rental rates, because there must be a chimney. They said it does terrible stink, so they give them the option. That's if they get their money, if they gotta kick him out, if he doesn't quit. So I thought that's being pretty proactive there to do something. There's supposed to be non-smoking units, so. But anyway, that was yesterday's housing meeting. about it. So,
I just had ICCD, but my day went sideways, so I wasn't able to go.
I went to the city council meeting Monday night,
Oh, yeah?
learned some things in there that the library thing went through, but I finished that first. And then yesterday, I took the check, I went to City Hall, they got the check signed, it ran with them to the library, to make sure they had it. They were thrilled. I told them, I explained to them what they need to do on their part of getting the 2080.
Mhm.
Now it's on you.
mhm.
Get it done in case the board of Williamsburg ever changes, this way you've got something in writing.
Mhm.
At the city council meeting in Williamsburg that you went to.
Are we going to be paying for the updated 28 degree as a county?
Nope, not according to Tim.
Well, they won't have to pay anyway. Eric, their city attorney will probably draft it.
Well, it has to be there, I don't know, who's city attorney?
Williamsburg, I
You know,
think.
see, it's supposed to be on a map.
Oh, yeah. Whoever, yeah.
They're supposed to make, according to our attorney, they make it up and more like a third party with it. They're supposed to send me somebody, maybe this is old news to you, Ed, because you aren't on the laws. They stated that we don't have to take high bid anymore. A little bit, I mean,
For what?
It depends.
so when we do projects, we're not probably taking a little bit.
I don't,
One of I can't remember the name of the guys that
Tyler Marshall?
said that, you know, he was supposed to email that every guy, but.
Low bids for what? Any work within the scope of the county?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I never heard it, but that's what he said. He goes, oh, they changed the law. And I go, oh, I've never heard that. You usually have to have just cause for not using it. It's gotta be a really good just cause. Or they can come back and sue you. That's how it always has been.
Hmm.
And then the other thing I thought, this is not here or there, but they said like the people putting in their underground lines in Williamsburg, they'll be here for probably the next, they say 4 or 5 years.
Putting underground lines in,
Mm-hmm.
electrical or,
Electrical.
oh, like we were going all underground?
Yeah, that's what's coming in from the Fremont corner into town, that's the electric lines. I understand it's extensive, but it's taken forever just to get to town.
Right. Wow. Who's footing that bill?
Technically, I'm sure we are through our utility bills.
Right, is that a line?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and then they also stated, this will be a discussion for later, and I don't know how that worked, but when they talked about their deductibles and stuff going up on their insurance, they're just gonna set up a separate savings account to put money in to keep it separate. But I didn't think, some reason we couldn't, Randy said we couldn't, I don't know why.
I don't know why we couldn't.
Because it'd be nice, we need to keep it separate and untouched except for, you know what I mean, for that.
Yeah, and I want to do that with an equipment fund too.
So one person can't rob the other person.
Yeah, I want to do that with an equipment fund, so that way people that are budgeting for their equipment.
Ambulances or,
Yeah. We need to, I don't know who to go through. Maybe Tim would be a good resource for that. Maybe I should have him.
we need it, well, and then unfortunately Russell.
Yeah,
or-
which he gave me some information back in the day. I'll have to look and see if I can find it.
Russell's our accountant. Or auditor.
Auditor.
Russell,
With the auditor, company that audits our books.
the last
His
name,
first one for mileage.
That's his first one.
$24.
Yeah,
Great
but-
stuff.
I think there's something on downstairs,
Oh,
there's some paper, I
know.
we don't bring to us, but.
That was all great stuff.
Whatever.
Of course, I don't want to take her mileage away.
I would probably, yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Let's see what there's two.
I know,
Kevin didn't here.
no, I know,
This one.
yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
I'll send it back around.
all right.
Usually get ahead of time.
Yeah. I was like, gosh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
So you are some people comparing another two of them.
Maybe.
Really my license.
No, he gets my emails.
Firework permit,
You want the whole thing?
Humana Community Fireworks, Chris Hare,
I'll make a motion.
To approve.
I can second it.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Board of Supervisors Compensation Board to represent its appointments for expiring terms. This may be something we table yet, because it sounds like, if you remember that email thingy, we have to renew everybody anyhow for the first year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Are we either gonna continue to have a compensation board? The state of Iowa says we don't have to.
No, that's also part of the discussion. That's also part of the discussion.
Yeah.
We don't need a appointment, we don't want to do it. And then, as Abby brought up to me that one time, is the difference basically is the sheriff.
Because now we are the comp board and then you
If we're
have
the comp
to.
board, we have to give them that raises that they mandated, which I understand, but I'm just, that, to me,
But
that's.
can we afford it though? That's my question. You know, I hate to.
The only difference the other way is we, it's suggested that we do it.
Mhm.
What's your line of thinking on it, Kevin?
I can go either way real easy, because everybody knows we have to do it eventually.
I know, and I want to get it there, but I just don't know if we can afford the last jump in 1 year, you know?
And having control over the race instead of
Well,
this
then it-
mishmash of everything else.
I know.
I put that one right on top.
That way we don't have to pare it down percentage wise. And we can get raised where it needs to be, but you know, like what we ended up with a 24 and a 12% recommendation last year.
Mhm.
And you know, that we can't do that. We can't continue doing that. It'd be nice to get that sheriff,
I can get
if
that.
we can afford
Yes.
it, up to where he needs to be, and then get everybody else back in line with the 2, 3, 4%.
So I wonder where we would be at next year to get the sheriff up there.
So,
I don't know.
Would it be, are we within 16% yet?
Do you know?
I'll look here in just a second, yeah.
We gotta figure what a pump is. Thanks.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. I met with Matt and Rachel Anderson at the Miller Meeks office. She wanted to meet with us, so she came down and we talked about the funding
So let's pass that back.
for the road and any other possible funding. It's always nice to stay friends with people like that.
Yeah.
And she went over and met Rob. She goes, oh yeah, I know Rob. And Rob goes, I don't remember you. I know the last time you were here, I think you were met.
Nice. Yeah, that was a good meeting, just to get to know her, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a resource in Hey, do you have any?
Is she like one of our top aides or?
I think they're all divided up in like certain regions and specialties. But yeah, for some reason, she wanted to come back. I go, awesome.
Yeah.
Have you heard from Nick yet? Got any fish?
No, I don't know. They probably don't get back into the States till Sunday, so,
Oh, probably no phone service up there either.
right.
That's fine. I can't read handwriting, our signatures very well, trying to like, look at it and can't figure it out.
Me. I just signed the front one, I didn't realize there's multiples.
Yeah, there were two of them in there.
No, I think there was an old one, wasn't there? Hang on.
I just signed this one.
Is that the newest one? Let me look at it. Wait, there might be multiples. This one you can-
All right, well, not too much to report this week, kind of a pretty standard week. For our construction projects, the bridge on 230th is basically done. I think Dave did his final seating this week, so should be good to go there. The bridge on 265th, they've started the construction, they've driven the west pier piles and got those encased this week. So other than that, they're just kind of doing some some dirt work. I don't know if you've been down there.
So the first one was the Castle Bridge and the next one was Wolfman's Bridge, just for,
Yeah, Castle and Wolfman. Yep, so they're coming right along there. V66, is done. We're still waiting for the DOT to do their final review, but can't imagine they'll have any comments, so they typically don't.
I don't want to be wrong, it's awesome, I think.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's pretty smooth. I think Pelling's gonna try to apply for some smoothness awards on it, so it's always good.
I know, but for the smoothest awards, that Creamery Road going on in North Limits, I got one still.
We still have that hanging up in our office.
Yeah, that turned out to be the roughest road ever.
Yep, so, we'll take the awards though.
There you go. They turned to crap 3 years later.
Yep. Our road crew, grading this week, and, we've got a big crew doing some crack sealing down on that B road you're talking about. F-67,
Yeah.
so, doing a lot of crack sealing. We got a crew that's finishing up M2249, the box culvert that we put in. They're just finishing up the dirt work there and wrapping that side up, and then I believe as soon as they're done there, they're gonna move right around the corner and tear out another bridge and start on that project, so they'll stay busy. We've got another box culvert scheduled for delivery late July, so our crew is gonna move in there next week, start tearing that bridge out. It's on 190th Street. Our guys in the office met with the utility companies out there, just to get things squared away before we go in and start tearing anything up, so. We should be good to get going there. Other than that, our techs in the office have been closing out and doing the paperwork, trying to close out some projects and doing the inspection on that Wolfman Bridge for the concrete work. And then we're just plugging away on next year's projects, design work.
So how does that work with utilities that are burying their lines, and they have to get an easement from you?
So, yeah, they file a utility permit with us.
So do you tell them how deep they have to go, or the regulations, so you have to worry about if you're going to clean ditches
We
out?
tell them, stay at the back of the right of way. And then any bridges and culverts, they have to go either out and around where they can or super deep. And then if their line is coming on a path where we know there's a bridge, we'll tell them, hey, this bridge is getting replaced, like, make sure you're not in the way when we come in and start driving piling, so. It's usually not a problem. If they are in our right of way and we need them to move, they relocate at their own cost.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
If they're installed on private ground, like Power Chic Water typically does, they usually buy an easement from the landowner. So then if we need that water line moved, then we have to pay for it to be moved. So if it's in the right of way, it doesn't cost us anything. If it's not in the right of way, then it could potentially cost us. But pretty much everything is in the right of way except for Power Chic Water.
And they're in the right of way a couple places.
Yeah, usually it's where they cross the street or, their line typically doesn't run.
I think they went down the dirt roads because you couldn't get easements on either side.
Yeah, if they have trouble getting easements, I'm sure they would, but. Yeah, everything's going good.
Are you guys hauling gravel today? I don't know if the trucks out there in town.
Yeah, I don't know how much rain we got here. If they can do it without tearing up the roads, I'm sure they.
Well, I didn't know if you're going to the quarry or, but.
Oh, I don't know. Tim didn't say anything about that this morning, but I wouldn't be surprised if, I know the graders are changing blades this morning, some of them are, so. I'm sure they're finding something to do. It's probably,
That kind of day.
anything else?
Any other questions for Matt?
All right, Nick should be back next week, so.
We're all-
If he gets into the country, I don't know, they might stop him at the border.
Yeah.
All right. Guess that's
Thanks,
what we got.
Bill. Appreciate it.
Back to what the amount of money it would take to get up to back to blue wage.
Okay.
It would be a $300,000 increase total,
What percent is that, you know?
30%.
That's a 30%, we got 30% to make up yet?
Yeah, because, the guy that they tied him to got a 6% raise this year, so next year, his salary is 141,309.
So in my opinion, it'd be better if we just do the compensation.
Yeah.
So we still have control over if we do that or not to do it.
I know, I was just looking to see what our rural services levy rate ended up being. I think we'd have room to raise it, but it's like, gosh, we want to raise
That's,
it by that much in 1 year?
yeah, that's kind of, you have to do it instead of you can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We leave our option open to do it.
with the compensation board.
but then we get shot with all the other departments. That's the hard part.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
they come in with 9% and we give 4%.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's not on forever.
Exactly.
It'd give us some more ability to,
We will.
And the bad thing is also then if we get rid of the compensation board, and I'm gonna just pick on you guys. Well, I can give you 10% now, I can give you 2% now. We're no longer tied to being fair and equal.
which isn't all bad.
No, but yeah, you just remember that when you get phone calls.
Yeah, I know.
That's the way I understand how they changed the law. It's wide open, and right now it's equal percentages cut, so.
But some, looking at the other counties, it's not all equal in other
No.
counties.
But their compensation boards recommends it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
If you could corral the compensation board and say, listen, this is what we really encourage you to do so we can get on the right track.
But I don't know if legally we can do that because everybody has their own.
We can tell our two representatives.
Yeah, you can tell ours, but we can't tell everybody.
Yeah, we can't tell the others.
That's why they have to.
This is why you're discussing it, is because your two representatives are up.
Yeah,
Correct.
so we're trying to figure out if we even need to, I don't think we're gonna take action on it anyways, because we have to reestablish the board.
And then you have to give everybody new terms.
So I suppose we could need to put on the agenda for sometime in July to do the comp.
Just keep it under other so we can do it, discuss it every week if we want to.
Yeah.
So we don't lose it.
So what's on the agenda right now is
Representative appointments, but instead just put compensation board, what is it? Let me see here.
Reorganization or not?
Consideration of reorganization of compensation board.
Yes.
Compensation board utilization is what ISAC has, as the,
We'll just keep that under other, and we discuss it every week and make sure it's not forgotten.
So will you guys, go ahead and appoint today since they're ending in June?
no,
Just keep that on there as
because
well.
on July 1, we don't have one. So we reappoint them for walking a few days.
Nobody does anything.
So just keep it on there and then also put on your comp board utilization, compensation board utilization.
Mhm.
Heritage Agency on Aging Board of Directors appointment for expiring term. Motion to reapply, Chris.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. There you go. I just want to make sure they do what you,
Yeah, make sure I keep our head cap, getting money, getting food.
You're a lucky man.
and thank you for that.
You
Letter
trade me for early childhood Iowa?
of support for Safe Haven.
Hold that right here.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll trade you that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
Okay, so I've been on the phone with a lot this week with Joe, what was his name, whatever his name was. And I did the numbers on our insurance, and what I did was I ran it, I took every claim from the last 5 years and put it in a spreadsheet, and then, ran it if we had ICAP versus travelers, like what the difference would have been. And the total difference over 5 years, we would have paid $156,000 over 5 years more in like co-insurance deductibles. But so that averages out to $31,000 more a year. So that $173,000 saving is looking more like $140,000. Chris and I kind of talked too this week about it, and what did he say? Let me pull his email up. So we were wondering.
This, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were wondering if they do other counties, and
Travelers.
Yeah.
Yep. And so what did he send me over? He said that they do counties in other states, a lot of counties in other states, but in Iowa, ICAP had the market for so long because they were the cheapest, so nobody was wanting to bid against them. But now that ICAP's getting expensive again, now all these private sectors want to come back into the market. So we would be, I think, the first county in Iowa for travelers, but not the first county that they insure.
And like you said, a lot of people get stuck taking their claims with them. That's why you can't leave.
I know.
Part of it.
Um,
I just really worry about the deductible. I understand that you're saving money 90% of the time. It's that 10% they could really just knock those off.
That's what I can't, it's nice to have that warm blanket over us.
yeah.
It's nice to have that 143 savings too, but what if, like we talked about, what if it hits our complex here?
Yeah, I did ask about because one of the complaints of ICAP is how much they settle out all of our liability claims.
That's what I wanted to know, yeah.
And so I called him and asked him about that. Are travelers going to be any better? And he said, well, while private ones tend to fight more, he said he can't say for sure, but private companies they don't want to pay that out.
Because I asked that, and also I asked the same thing as, well, there's a formula of how much it's gonna cost us lawyer fees as opposed to settling, and that's what they go off of.
Yeah.
So even if they know they're right, they'll say the lawyer fees and settle.
Mm-hmm. Which he was informing that even with ICAP, what we could be doing is if we don't agree with it, we could,
Yeah, but we lose.
we could fight it. And if they get set, and if we lose and the settlement is more than the original amount, like let's say 170 versus 150, we have to pay that 20,000. But that's not that bad. It's only if it goes up.
See, I was told differently. It's just, if we don't go with what they say, we're on the hook for everything that we have to settle for.
Travelers,
Well,
ICAP.
or like that.
he told me it's just the difference of it settles for more.
I may have misunderstood, but that's what I've been told.
Maybe I misheard him wrong, but anyways, it's good to know for the future when we have the silly ones like the, that snowplow one.
Oh, you want to narrow it down, we have a lot of silly ones.
Yeah, oh, I had every claim. I entered them all. I saw how silly they were.
A lot of them are over termination.
Mhm.
We don't fight any of those either, just.
Not very far, what is it, the normal sum is like 10 or 20,000?
Well, there weren't any terminations in the last 5 years.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I can think of several.
Really?
I don't want to say here now. I don't think so. Anyway, that's here.
I don't think so. We had liabilities.
So you're recommending going to Travelers?
I could go either way, honestly.
Chris, where you at?
You like the blanket?
I like the blanket right now, yeah. I mean, I understand, I want to save money, but I'm just worried the way this weather is anymore, nothing's.
You're leaning towards like that.
Does it say there how much our building costs? Do we have that in there? That's an example.
That's a whole other story. I called Freedom Freedom's out of my place to get, I said, what about that Who building? He says they're just gonna fix it.
I know, but I was just wondering how much that was.
And if they're gonna fix it, it wouldn't be that much.
Is this,
I would say
what's the term of the agreement? Is it year to year?
40,000.
No, I mean.
Oh,
insurance?
Yeah, we
Year
turn
to year.
year to year.
But we'd have to have no claims at that time.
To get it to switch.
So this year we're claim free right now. This is a chance to do it. Most years we're
Well,
probably.
it's not a claim, it's a more of a pending lawsuit.
Yeah. We have those every year.
You, we have a lot of,
Yeah, usually we can never get out, and that's when, like, it's our one chance, and I think more counties are gonna try to get out.
It's a tough decision. I mean, it really is, because there's pros and cons either way.
I feel like our ending fund balance is always, we always come in, as Farm Bureau points out, way under budget. And so we have that cushion, maybe we set it aside, like
we
this
need to figure
year.
out to make sure we can do it.
Yeah,
Because I don't wanna say this, here's a line item that money is, I feel much better if it's just over here.
that's, I know, but we
Right.
can't figure that out today, you know what I mean?
But I don't know, didn't he say we didn't have to find today? Didn't we have like 30 days to make this decision?
No, we have to choose today.
Yeah, I thought that's what I understood it too. We had to choose
It's
position.
gotta be before end of the month.
That might be today.
I lean towards Travelers just because I feel like it's gonna be the way counties are going. And ICAP is just not competitive at all anymore.
Which would be fine if we didn't have a $100,000 deductible.
Yeah. And I did ask, he did
Because I thought
send,
at first, when I got explained to me, they didn't talk about that at all. They talked about the 2% of the value, which would be a big jump. And then now it's 100,000, then I misunderstood. I thought it was like per year, no, it's per incident.
yeah. That's the thing, that's the one thing with Travelers, like, the prime example is if we had a hail event in Marengo on our complex, and each one of these roofs was under 100,000 to replace, and then you'd have to pay for every single one.
Exactly, with travelers.
And that's roof is over 100,000.
That one wouldn't count, yeah, but you got the engineer's office, jail kitchen, jail, this.
EMA shed, engineer's building.
It's just if it hit Marengo.
I'd like to wait another year just to see how it shapes up with travelers and see if there's anybody else jumps in the pool too. That deductible just scares the hell out of me.
That's, the 2% I was worried about, like, well, we can make that work, but that 100,000 per incident.
Yes, and I'm all for change too, but man, I like the blanket right now, ICAP still provides, but I think as all this progresses, insurance is gonna continually evolve and change in the next 12 months in the state of Iowa with all these catastrophes. So somebody else is gonna jump in too, besides travelers, I think. Personally, I'd like to stick with ICAP from what I see, but
I'm good with either one.
yeah, I just think it's better for the county.
Chris, you still in your warm fuzzy blanket?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to stay with ICAP.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Those say nay. Motion approved.
Abby, I want to thank you for your
Yes.
hard work and due diligence into that and diving into it and knowing what's going on and making sure we all understand.
yeah, good.
And you're doing a good
Yeah,
job.
just the expensive roofs and like I said, a hailstorm, hail and wind. That's the main thing that causes us claims.
Mhm. I don't think there's a wrong decision in this process. That's the safer decision and,
You always second guess yourself.
mhm.
Like I say, we hit here, say, 1st of June to hit here. 1st of July hits in Millersburg or another complex. And
Yeah, it could really blow up on us. Again, it's a year to year, maybe.
Well, hopefully next year we're
Claim,
claim-free
claim
again.
free, yeah.
Basement computer wiring discussion, which we've discussed already, correct? Or do you want more on that?
No, I just think we need to continue to keep it on the other until we get a resolution for proposal, if that's okay.
Pioneer Cemetery appointment?
Do you want Jared? Can we find someone else?
You want to put Jared on, tell him if they bring something else, we can always drop them out if you want.
I don't care.
Motion to approve Jared for, boss for the Pioneer Cemetery.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
I'll text him a congratulations.
But
You'll enjoy it. I
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed it.
Chris, did you second that?
yes.
Okay,
So next,
June.
so next,
Do you need his contact information?
That'd be great, yeah,
Yeah, you want it now?
yeah,
Phone number?
Yeah.
319-530-1099.
so next week we have a meeting, leading for next week's agenda, because the following week tentatively, we're not going to. Just keep that in mind.
and you're gonna tell him, right, Abby?
Yep, I just texted him.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Congratulations.
I'll be the Pioneer Board's member now.
You can put the moss in charge of the moss cemetery.
Yeah.
How are we gonna contact travelers and let them
I have to go to Will's to sign something.
Okay,
That's what I was told last time, that, yeah, all the paperwork, I go in there and sign.
and then Willis will contact Travelers.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to extend our thanks and make sure that they look at it again next
For all
year.
the work they put in too.
Yes.
We're ready, Becky?
Chair is yours.
Hi, Becky.
Good morning. Okay, so, happy Friday.
Happy rainy Friday.
Oh, yeah. You guys all got my update. You'll notice that bus 315, I had a typo on the mileage. Should be 79,882.
I picked that up right.
What else? So something I just want to touch on, that conference I went to in Ames. The speaker was awesome. So she has a book, Joy is My Job. And it might sound crazy, but she had a lot of very valid points. The one that really stuck with me the most is this chart and how your circle. So your inner circle is your thoughts, actions, and reactions, the things you can control. The other stuff around it is other people's thoughts and actions, the weather, those sorts of things. So you have to choose what you bring to your inner circle. So that has made a lot of sense to me, and I've thought about it multiple times
Yeah,
in the last couple weeks. So
yeah,
I haven't got the book read yet. I did flip through it, but I thought it was worthwhile.
yeah.
It's very interesting. What else?
No buses are getting made yet.
It is so weird that they get caught up.
Yeah. Washington County did they got one, I think she said in like May. And she's got another one that's supposed to be coming in October. So there is progress being made. It's just not gotten to us yet, to me.
Did Brock say anything about any other counties in our town getting anything?
No.
So are we like the first bus, are we in the first one of our cog to get something?
That I don't know.
I don't think so.
Or the last one on and last one off.
Yeah. They have, I did see on one of the sheets that Brock had that he's got 5, he had a listing, and I should have printed it out, but I didn't. A listing of what was coming. No, that's the contract. There were so many buses for fiscal year 25, so many medium buses, so many light duty buses, so many vans. So I'm hoping that maybe he's got some insight, and 2025 is gonna be a good year that we're gonna get caught up, but we don't know. But yeah, so along with that, and like I said, with my IPTA conference, a lot of it was political about getting our word out for the funding. So, I mean, from me to you guys, anything that you can do to run it up the ladder to make sure that that funding stays in place and we don't lose any more than because we are losing a little bit, they said this year, 2025. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very educational. I'm glad that I went. Learned a lot. And then my other request is the conference in Orlando.
It's funded by,
EC.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did
I
fellowship.
want you to go. I think it'd be good for you to go.
No, but it's a requirement that you have to come and ask going to out of state.
The gal from Jones County is also going. So, we're gonna rent one car and share it, and that money will go, ECOG won't have to pay for 2 cars that way. So,
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman, to approve.
Well, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved for your out-of-state travel.
perfect, thank you.
Just don't get in trouble.
I won't. No,
I
I will
would
get
say,
my,
don't fall into the water and see the.
No.
Or it'll get you.
I'll put it on my mobile patrol Orlando that week. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get my registration done this afternoon yet.
Very good.
Anything else?
Is your security cameras, everything working fine down there, no issues?
As far as I know, but I will double check them when I get back to my office.
Oh, yeah. Well, you haven't had no issues from the reason to look, right? But I'm just curious if everything's functioning for you.
I will double check that when I get back to the office and make sure.
Good. I'm glad we have them down there.
Better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. And we know how the buses, how the cameras on the buses have helped us in the past, so.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
When you start sending out that preschool is ready.
I already have. We have a lot of parents that have already sent their applications in, so.
Good numbers ready.
I think Stacy looked at hers and just Marengo alone, she's already got 16.
Wow.
So, and I haven't looked at Waynesburg that
This
closely.
is to go where to where?
This is for this preschool transportation for Waynesburg and Marengo.
To go to a specific preschool.
Right, so the transportation we provide in Waynesburg for the students, we pick them up at daycare centers, at their homes, whatever, get them to preschool, get them from school back to home, whatever.
Excellent.
It's gonna be like herd kids at times.
I have some very good bus drivers over there. They do a very good job.
My kids both loved their bus drivers when they were younger and did it. And they just picked them up at daycare and then that's where they got dropped off too. The drivers made sure that there was someone there with the kid, before they dropped them off. It's wonderful.
You gotta make sure we have contact with somebody when the kid gets off the bus. Daycare lady will wave out the window or whatever.
Cool.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Yep, have a good weekend.
Did you see the article in the paper?
Yes, it's good.
I've gotten a couple phone calls already because of that.
Good.
So,
Thanks for running that.
yes, Winona, you did a wonderful job. Thank you. All right, guys, have a good day.
I will second.
Yeah, I can send it if you want, it doesn't matter.
I made a copy for myself.
I just sent you guys all of our claims for the last 5 years so you can see, but I don't see anything for termination.
You can't say right now.
I know, well, you have to.
Don't worry about that. I text Travis, he's on his way.
Okay.
I don't have anything, I don't know.
We usually have a contract ahead of time to make sure, the pay rate's right. And
Well, either way, make sure I get a copy of it.
Yeah, we don't have one, do we?
I didn't see one.
I didn't.
Sometimes I will look, but I didn't see it.
I don't know if he's bringing it and he never supplied it to us, I don't know. Or if it was in Brandy's email and she was gone and then, I have no clue. I'm sorry.
Because a lot of times when we run that way, Lou, make sure there's nothing we missed.
We might call Lou and see if he's gotten it.
Good luck. He's not there.
Probably not, but I can contact,
Travis.
Make sure that he's reviewed it too.
What have you been doing at home for retirement? Anything fun yet?
I'm twiddling my thumbs. I'm doing a few honeydews. I made them myself and yeah,
he needs to have
It's a
this.
weird
Just
thing.
don't have links that we can do.
I keep looking for emails and I don't have any.
Yeah.
That would,
You're up. I just had to look at my calendar. I thought it was 10 o'clock.
Don't sit down.
Driving fast around here.
He told me to hand that off.
Perfect. That's what you sent me earlier, wasn't
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy said she sent it, but.
it? Yeah, no, I sent it.
Usually
Tim,
you just send us a
check
copy of
you
your
out.
projected, or
They
your
haven't
proposed
got
contract.
anything.
I was gonna follow the old one.
Huh?
I didn't.
We need that, and then we always let Lou review it to make sure there's no typos.
Yeah. Yep, I can do that. I'll send it over. Brandy's probably got it.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
unfortunately, she's
All
not here,
right,
so
I
she
just- I
can't
didn't know when
say.
we were today, so I couldn't ask him, so.
You want me to run now and get it?
No, it's, well,
I'm gonna recommend we just keep it the same.
All right, well, thank you so
which
much.
is fine, but we still have to, Lou likes to follow
Yeah. I talked to Lou yesterday and he just like, yeah,
just change the rate of pay.
we weren't even he didn't even give me a raise.
What?
Oh.
Well, usually you get the same raise as everybody else got.
I told him I'm good with what we got. I know I worked harder than everybody else, but that's all right.
Motion through.
So, but I can say, yeah, we were just gonna leave everything, the mowing, everything was gonna stay the same.
Okay, so we need to get a copy of that so we can sign it.
I'll bring it over, so. Quick update, are you in? We in the meeting?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. We ended up pumping, so we're done with the C60 fiasco, 98% done.
So it's all plumbed back to the original way.
Yep, the diversion channel's been done. Planted some grass seed, we'll see how that goes. That might be the only thing we gotta do is touch up the grass seed a little bit, but, back to the flowing, normal, everything's good. So, therefore, well, then when that happened in December of 20, we go to have the Corps of Engineers come down. So part of the levee district then is the pump at MRC, ball fields. Now, the city of Marengo takes care of that pump and whatever. So my pump house is not nice, but it's nice. That one there, you walk down, you get killed going down into it, whatever, and the doors, it works, but whatever. And I made that comment to the Corps. I'm like, now this one isn't maybe quite as nice, we need to fix it up, whatever. And they're like, oh no, it's beautiful. A lot of ours don't even have roofs on. So it was interesting to hear that from them. They're like, oh no, yours are in great shape. Don't worry about this. You're good to go. But,
Okay, that's where the conversation.
yeah, yeah. So, but I think that is coming. That stuff isn't gonna last forever. But so we'll see. I know I got one pump there that's got a little bit more vibration than the other one, but I just haven't been using that this year. It'll run and we've test run it, but my thought process, we might get into winter and then I might pull one of them out and just do see where we're at. I don't know if that's Larry, but I don't know if they've ever been out of there in 45 years. So if we need to do some maintenance to them, we'll look at that. But everything's been good.
I'm glad you're running it, Bruce.
Yeah, thank you. So, okay.
Any other
Great job,
questions?
yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I will email that up to Brandy
Yeah.
and then
And we're
I'll
gonna
put
get-
that in there and I'll actually include Lou on it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Does it mean any quick breaks? We're all good? Okay. Come on down.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's the way I like it.
Don't mess it up.
No
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever, it's fine. Alright.
Right here, PM.
It's a bad sign. We got to do this.
Yep.
Alright, how's everyone doing on this cool day
It's kind of nice, a nice break of,
versus the heat?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a couple days ago, what day was like 90+ degrees?
yeah,
That was Tuesday.
I would love this,
It was
yeah.
because that was miserable.
yeah.
Alright, so, time for my biannual report, guys. So, again, first opening statements, just kind of for anyone in the room that wasn't familiar with kind of what we do in the office. Now, in the last fiscal year, what we have focused on for the goals was to continue to review previous claims that originated in Iowa County, bringing awareness to the changes in the federal system, increasing the amount of veterans coming to contact the office to submit for the additional VA benefits. Now, a huge part of that was the PACT Act that was signed back in 2022. And a lot of people, they didn't do the cutoff for back payment until August 14th of 2023. So we're still working on claims for those to get the back payment of 2022. Continued outreach events, including the Coffee and Camaraderie, that has gained a lot of popularity, which is great. This generated multiple claims at this point, along with dispersing information on various changes to the federal system. Providing training to the Iowa County Health Department about VA benefit system and how we can work in collaboration with our organizations to ensure veterans have access to all the resources available to them. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the VA healthcare system in Iowa City. They are reviewing all of their contracts with it's not just the Iowa County Health Department. I mean, I think it's kind of across the board. And they are removing funding for those that are just housekeeping or considered homemaking. But they're not actually contacting them to see what they're doing. So I've been in contact with the patient advocate a couple times in the last 2 weeks to go ahead and see what's going on. But again, we're gonna keep working on it. Communications, key component. And the office has also been in contact with the VA mental health liaison, attempting to collaborate with local agencies for the additional mental health first aid training specifically geared towards the unique needs of the veteran population. So we had, in the 10 years I've been here, up until last summer, we had no veteran suicides. And then we had 3, 2 of which were back to back. So, which is why I think it's critical at this point in time that we go ahead and get whatever additional resources we can on board to see what we can do to help that.
Did the VA visit expansion down at the Corville Strip?
Yeah. Yeah, they put in a whole new clinic.
Okay.
So, which is increased availability. They had to. So as of March 5th of this year, the VA opened up healthcare. And they opened up to any veteran that served active duty during wartime periods. And they also included all veterans that were exposed to chemicals, regardless of wartime period, throughout their military career. So, but at this point, there are roughly, last count, over 700 military installations in the continental United States. They're considered Superfund sites, which means that they are known to have like the PFAS chemicals, forever chemicals, so Fort McClellan being one of them. There's multiple ones. Look at, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was sued by the city of Dayton, Ohio, and won for Wright-Patterson contaminating the drinking water. So these are also people we have coming in that are developing these different diseases and cancers that we are fighting to go ahead and get them service connected. And those are not the ones that are presumptive. Those aren't, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. But when you've got a military installation and they didn't deploy, they don't want to lay claim that there was contaminated water, which is, I get it. But the same way, it doesn't make that person any less sick. So we still fight it. Did that answer your question? So anyway, yeah, they opened it up. So anyway, yeah, there's a influx of veterans going in for VA healthcare system. All right, GDX report did come out. So in essence, it did bring the copies from 2022 versus 2023. Now we did go up $900,000 since the previous fiscal year. That's an increase of $7,326,000 since the beginning in 2014. So I have those previous reports. If you guys want me to include those in, it just seemed like it took up a lot of space. So just kind of in a nutshell, that's what we increased this year. All right, fiscal year stats. New claims generated since January 1st of 2024 to June 27th was 173. And the previous year from that same time frame was 103. So we saw an increase of 70 claims during that 6-month period. New claims generated since July 1st of 2023 to now was 273. And again, that was a 100 claim increase from the previous year. And so, this is an increase of over 100 newly generated claims from the fiscal year in comparison to the last fiscal year. And then, like the big bulk of the stuff that I gave, I didn't want to type it on this because I went ahead and printed it up for you guys. So the new information that's come out in reference to changes. So there's a summary on the top of that page. So House File 259, which was signed on April 18th, 2024, had the following changes. Now, a resident of the state who served in any component of the armed forces of the United States, who is a recipient of service-connected disabilities from the Department of VA, and who is discharged under honorable conditions can now get veteran designation on the driver's license. Whereas beforehand, how do I put this? It was easier for me to get people federal benefits versus state benefits because the definition of veteran didn't mesh up between the state and the federal government. So this is basically, we are now meshing up between the two. So the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs will conduct one service school for county veteran service officers, and then our association is going to conduct the other state service or other state school. So beforehand, it was our association and the state doing 2 of the same. Now it's going to be the state running one, us running one for the state training. This came down to funding. So, and that's how they're going to split that up. Funds are available, of course, the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs, allocate $10,000. Now, a little further down goes for the additional $3,000 that we're going to be receiving for the allocation funds. So also changes upon employment, the county veteran service officer shall complete the course for the purpose of obtaining certification to obtain their personal identification card, which is a verification card, which is their PIP card. So, and that's within 1 year of employment. That was something we've been fighting for a long time. There are offices that just didn't ever do the training to ever look in the federal system. And before I got mine in 2017, I really thought I was doing a good job, genuinely. And then you get this PIP card and you go in and you realize, oh my God, there's a lot of things I need to correct. So, but there's still offices that don't have that. So this made it mandatory. All right, so the county commissioners of Veterans Affairs must now be from different branches of service. That is moving forward. So if we have people roll off, instead of like all three being like Army, we are looking to go ahead and incorporate from like the Air Force, from the Navy.
Does
So,
that affect our current board?
uh-huh.
Does that affect? our
Right
current
now,
board?
so this is moving forward for anything, so we gotta have, it, when we move forward, it used to be where they wanted them from like World War II and Korea and Vietnam and the Gulf, and they realized that the reality of that is not going to be effective, it's not realistic. So moving forward, they would like to go ahead and see a different combination of the branches of service, so.
I guess what I'm trying to say is any of our 3 members now, it won't affect any of our 3 members now.
No, because we still have people being recognized from different branches, which is good. You like, for example, that weird 80s, okay, the 80s were weird anyway.
Hey.
What I'm saying is, so you got like Vietnam, now Vietnam ended in 1975, and we didn't have a new wartime period kick off until like 1989, right? So there's that weird 16-year period, and it was weird, Kevin, like you remember that period of time, like that was kind of strange. So those are the ones that are now fighting to go ahead and get their service connected benefits. But anyway, I digress. Yes, right now we should be good to go, so. All right, burial expenses shall be paid by the county in which the person resides. This was another thing that was a big issue in the state of Iowa. So you had individuals that wanted to go ahead and they passed away in like Marshall County, but they wanted to go ahead and get buried in like Keokuk County, right? A lot of times the counties were pushing off to the county the person was buried in. That's no longer the case. The county in which the person resides now has to do the bill for the burial. But that was my next question. So I know every county has, like for the veteran service officers, have county burial funds. Our county has always run that through the GA, which is okay, but when I contacted Belinda, there is some discrepancies in reference to, like she had no idea that veterans would be eligible for burial, and that if any veteran had come to her office, she had just turned them away because they were veterans and she assumed that they had come to my office. Can we look at that?
Yeah, we need to get that fixed here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and
Because
I'm-
we set the rate every year.
not that I want to take on additional responsibility, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to make sure that veterans would still have the eligibility instead of having this, the idea, and this is something that was discussed before, is that if a veteran is service connected for benefits, like pension benefits, it's because they are so impoverished that they do not meet the poverty line, right? And when I had talked, and this was a couple of years ago, I talked to Belinda and I said, hey, we have a veteran that is destitute. They're gonna need assistance. And she said, no, they have VA benefits. So that's an automatic disqual. Well, the burial benefits is $300 for like the actual service. And then they can potentially do a plot reimbursement. That's it. Like they don't pay for the opening and closing of the graves. We're actually providing veterans with less benefits potentially when they're impoverished versus keeping it the same kind of across the board. And it's no fault to anyone. I just kind of want to make people aware that let's take a, if we can, let's take a look at that. I would like the burial for the veterans portion to kind of, I would like to oversee that. Not that I want more work, but in the same light, I just want to make sure that we're doing it right. If that
Do
makes
you
sense.
need something from us to allow you to do that?
Yeah, because it would affect the budget at the end of the day. So the portion for the burial, the veterans burial would actually go in that lower level for my budget.
So we need to take it out of the GA budget and put it in.
Right. So, but I also know that there's obviously there's more discussion that needs to be before that actually happens. So, and that's okay. So I just want to make you guys aware of something coming down the pike.
We have to do a budget amendment.
Yes,
Yeah, so we lump it in our first one.
we're gonna have to anyway for that additional $3,000, which we'll cover next.
Mhm.
So we can do it at the same time if that's okay with you guys. Cool.
Not as being on the agenda then, does it?
Not yet, right? Because we
Not
don't,
yet, yeah, because we don't get that, I haven't even turned in my last report for the year for the state. That check won't come in until probably closer to August.
yeah, so I'd like to wait when we got more departments that will need it.
Sounds good? All right, House File 2663, that was signed on May 1st, 2014, or 2024. So in addition to the $10,000 allocation funds provided to each county, now they have went ahead and allocated additional $3,000. Now, that $3,000 is specific towards national training. So the actual training budget I have right now would go up $3,000. That would be the budgetary limit for that. Whatever money is not used for national training out of that $3,000 would have to then go back to the state by the end of next fiscal year. Here's the caveat. So I went to national training in May in Denver, Colorado. Our next one's not scheduled until July of next summer, which is after the fiscal year. So we don't actually have a national training schedule that I would normally attend until after the fiscal year. And then the next training after that is in May of the following year, which will have then 2 national trainings for the fiscal year. So we're hoping, I know there's discussions going on at the state to be carried over those funds from, because it's putting a lot of people in a pickle of a situation, because we got to maintain our CUs and training. So we're hoping that the state will allow us to carry it over.
Do you have to apply for the extra 3,000?
No, it's gonna come just like the
So
allocation
it's
fund.
just basically, we're gonna be behind 1 year, but we'll get it back the next.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So this was optimistically speaking, moving forward, the check instead of $10,000 will be $13,000 every year.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be changing those line items ever so slightly. But again, budgetary amendments, we'll know better for next year. So some ideas to go ahead and thwart having to return the entire $3,000, of course, is purchasing like plane tickets in advance and requesting reimbursements. Typically, I wait to go ahead and submit everything all at once towards the end of the fiscal year. With that, it would be, hey, I purchased my plane ticket for Kentucky for July, but I'm submitting the reimbursement now and like May. So just things like that. But again, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. How about that?
Mhm.
All right, and then Senate File 2430. That was signed on May 8th of 2024. Now, this was actually a really good one. So this actually extends death certificates. When we have veterans that pass away. A lot of times if they weren't attended, a lot of times they will put the heart stopped. Because it's not, demonstrably, it's not wrong. I mean, the heart stopped. But in the same way, they're not taking into consideration the type 2 diabetes, the chronic renal failure, other things that would have made that death service connected. So we've had to go ahead and I personally have had to go and contact the medical examiners a few times to get things added to the death certificates so that way we could get service connected benefits for the spouse. It works pretty slick when you have a good relationship with the medical examiners. Like here in town, great relationship, they have 0 problems. The one at the University of Iowa is a little more difficult, and I understand if it's a service connect for an ingrown toenail, I get that ultimately speaking, that probably did not lead to his demise of like adrenal cancer. But in the same light, like if they had type 2 diabetes, that potentially could, so that's kind of where we're sitting at now. And it's a good thing. Again, it goes from 90 days, which is a very short period, especially since it takes 8 weeks to get death certificates, anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks for my office to get death certificates. It gives us more time. Which is good. Questions you guys have? That was a lot.
That's good.
And I gave you the reading for scrape after reading.
You're gonna read this to us? You're gonna read this out to us?
No, I gave you the shell.
Something I can do later.
How am I doing otherwise, guys? Feedback, anything? Good. All right.
John keeps us informed, but you're doing a good job on it, so.
Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
This last page, and
Oh, so this, honestly, there was,
Last page.
it was a snapshot. This I included in case there was questions. I do a monthly report for the commission. And I let them know how many claims were generated, right? So for example, there were 59 claims generated from the last meeting that we had to the following meeting, right? Which is, I think, about a 3-week period. Now, of this was a random snapshot of a random Tuesday. It was actually the Tuesday of my commission meeting. And I went through and listed out all the contacts that I had that day, and it was 45. Now, but only 2 of those 45 contacts actually go on the following report. So, because there was only 2 that wound up filing claim paperwork. But it kind of shows that I'm busy, like I'm really, really busy, guys. It may not show up with the numbers, but again, this time it literally, I was around and rolling. And it was just a random Tuesday.
you're
Are they all
the
okay?
go-to point for all these folks.
So what?
You're the go-to for all these folks. You really are. You're like the queen bee. And to be, it's a positive statement. All the worker bees are all coming right to you. And you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's really good.
No, when veterans come to me, it's not just for specific veterans claims. It is for, hey Jen, can you help me fill out a food stamp application? Oh, sure. Like, hey Jen, can you help me with navigate the my insurance information through here? Sure. Hey Jen, I got a bill for my comp and penny valuation. Can you help me? Yeah, absolutely.
Or just a good ear for someone to talk to,
And that's okay.
which is really important.
You know, so again, appointments go anywhere from, walk-in appointments go anywhere from 30 minutes, which is usually the pretty quick, hey, let's go ahead and do a 0996, or sorry, an intent to file and a 2122, versus the actual pension claim, which takes about 3 hours because it's very meticulous. So it just kind of depends. I know there was concerns that the office door is closed, and it doesn't give the appearance for walk-ins as much as it used to be. One, I know I'm loud, and I know my horse cares. But a lot of times our veterans, yeah, you're not shocked. This is not surprising, Kevin. A lot of times the veterans are deaf. You know, they're hard of hearing, you know, as am I. And I understand that. So when the door's closed, it's because either I'm on the phone, I got someone in front of me and they're talking about things that they don't want other people to hear about. So it's not like I don't welcome walk-ins, I do. It's just, I manage my schedule because we got veterans that are now scheduling anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks out in advance. You know, so it's not fair when you have a widow that's been waiting for 3 weeks to get in my office, and then you have another random veteran that's like, oh, hey, this is just gonna take a minute, let me interrupt you guys when she's crying at my desk. And that happened a couple weeks ago, and that's not fair. You know, so just wanna let you guys know.
Yeah.
But my own personal experience is sometimes you get all the paperwork filled out. We thought we had everything done. They changed the rule, and myself, there's no way we could figure that out.
Yeah, no. Well, and then they ask for additional information, but the letters are
It's like, I
like 3
already
weeks
gave
late.
you all that.
Right, the letters are like 3 weeks late, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, we have 2 days to submit this. Don't worry, ma'am, I got you, say less.
I always feel like, okay, you try to string me along till I give up.
Gosh. All right, so if there's anything I can do, guys, let me know. John's been amazing as a liaison, and I really appreciate you guys' time and patience. If there's any questions, let me know.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
See you guys.
Adam, you're up.
Yeah.
Last victim of the
We
day.
were moving way ahead of schedule, so I was like, I better get up there. And then, slow down.
Hey, we're still 10 minutes ahead.
Yeah, you're still ahead.
I got letters. I think there's 2 there.
Yep.
It was wet, that's when it was wet. Hey, wouldn't make a good teacher, would it?
That's right.
You guys get called in on the Norway opportunity yesterday?
They were, we had 2 trucks out there, yeah.
I win, huh? I win.
That's, all I can really say is what Casey RG said to you. I mean, I can't get
Must have been a
into it.
spotty wind.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't out there. We
There
did-
was, I was kind of wondering, what, was it windy? It was like,
I did not run by, was that?
that was interesting too.
I'm not quite sure what exactly happened. But other than what was dispatched for trusses falling on,
Was it a house or a machine shed or, you know that?
I don't know. I thought I heard garage, but yeah, I didn't go out there and, I haven't read the report yet, so. But anyway, I'll get started with, I think I don't even know how things, everybody got to the hospital, as far as I know. Call report for June, or for May. May, we had 152 calls, 117 of those were billable, 35 were refusals, so. For the fiscal year, 24 year to date, we got 1,758 dispatch calls, and 1,408 of those were billable, 350 were refusals, sorry.
Robo.
Got cold water.
That one all started going there. I don't know. So we're averaging almost 160 calls per month compared to 147 and a half a month a year ago. Hopefully that levels off at some point. I mean, I don't think population's growing that quickly that
I don't know what the problem was.
I was gonna do some research on aging to see how much our age has changed.
We are aging.
That's gotta be the,
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
our county is a very aging county.
Yeah, so. We need to change that to keep our values, so we don't have to cover another truck, but, number of times both ambulances were busy on calls was 18 times, they were both out at the same time. Third unit calls, backup truck basically had 1 call, we had to request the out-of-county ambulance 4 times. That's staying pretty consistent, so we're not seeing any huge jumps in any of that, so. And then we had 30 transfers out of the hospital. Finance wise, May, our expenses for May were $135,475 compared to a budget of $192,052. Year to date, our actual expenses were $1,878,708 compared to a year to date budget of $2,112,573. So, at the end of May, we were sitting $2,333,865 on the budget, so with $133,000 budgeted to a new ambulance to carry over for new ambulance. May actual revenue was $144,822. Year-to-date actual revenue, $1,214,083 compared to a budgeted revenue year-to-date of $957,458. So revenue, excess revenue, basically actual minus budgeted, $256,625. So not that we want people to use the ambulance more, but on the revenue side, the call volume has been helpful. Actual expenses minus revenue, $664,625, compared to a budgeted difference of expenses versus revenue of $1,155,115. So as of the end of May, we had a $490,490 positive impact on the budget, or positive is the right way to call it. Positive. Let's see, what else I got? Our average charge per transport, $1,155.94 compared to average revenue of $846.44. Our cost per dispatch call, $1,068.66 compared to cost per transport of $1,334.31. So those numbers don't change a lot there. Any questions on we should end up okay on budget wise. We just don't. I don't know if we're gonna increase 10% in call volume a year, or it's gonna stay the same. I mean, there was one year we dropped like 100 calls, so hard to say. So I mean, we'll try to.
Yeah, I was just trying to see the median age. Right now it's 42.2 as of the last census,
Yeah.
but
I'm surprised. That'd be higher now.
Yeah, I thought it might be higher too.
But our largest population age in our county is 60 to 64. That's the majority of our. Those old timers calling the ambulance.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You're at 60, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I have, maybe they'll keep increasing, but I think at some point, there's just, unless you're adding more people, that volume is, I mean, it's going straight up. At some point, it's gonna level off, I would
yeah, it's just I think a lot of kids don't come back, you know what I mean?
think.
We don't have a lot of new, young people moving in.
Yeah. Anyway, patient satisfaction's decent, 97%. Activities are regular stuff, deposit, claim scheduling, medication machine, collections, records request. The preparedness grant, attended the board meeting on the 28th and then on the 4th, and then we had no collaboration meeting. We had to submit some paperwork for our fiscal year gap action plan. And then as of when I typed this up, we had received so far $11,502.43. It has been approved or received. And our original allocation was $8,587. There was like, of the 15 counties, I'm not sure if it's 15, it's right around 15 counties. There was like 22,000 in EMS funds that nobody had used yet, so they opened that up to everybody else, so we jumped on it and got a little more dollars out of that. I'm sure you've heard about the community access AEDs, and I didn't look today, Marengo's was supposed to go up yesterday, but there's one down at Gateway, one at Lake Iowa, Williamsburg.
I saw Northern Wishes.
I saw we had first.
And then Victor, I don't think theirs is up yet, I'm not sure where Victor's putting theirs. That was a partnership with Public Health, actually used public health preparedness funds, which we're all part of the same region, there's just different funds, CMS, preparedness funds, and there's hospital funds. So with all that, we're gonna try to, on the ambulance side, is push out some CPR training. And if we think we'll probably be able to get some grant money for advertising and some of that and stuff. Those classes out, so we're gonna try and do maybe one a quarter at least to keep momentum going.
Yeah, what's good is that machine if no one knows how to use it,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so we are gonna plan some of that here. Active shooter exercise planning has been ongoing. Working on getting our medical protocols up to date. Just a lot of review and a lot of pages to look at and make sure everything is moving out. So we did receive the Iowa Community Foundation grant, or they announced we would
Again,
every year.
Mhm.
You guys tell me, apply for that every year, so I do.
Don't take free money.
So we got some new video and laryngoscopes out of that. We actually have them in our training room. We're gonna do training July 15th, I think. I think we're gonna checks out into July. I'm gonna be on vacation, so I told Evan he was gonna have to go, but I think that's gonna be down in Parnell, isn't it?
I think so.
So that's good, so, get that moving. And I don't know if I told you before, but this last 3 months or so, 4 months, we've had 2 first responders in Atlanta and 2 in North English, so that was really good news for this year, get some of those numbers up. And then we've been preparing, scheduling special events, we just had the rodeo, everything went fine there as far as I know. We'll have an extra ambulance staff in the afternoon, evening on the 3rd and the 4th for the town celebrations coming up for Independence Day. We'll have staff at the fair, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, probably from 8 till 8 or so, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That first day down there, an ambulance down there, unless they get called away. So, but plan on doing it. Well, I was down at the kids fishing tournament and, one of our part-time paramedics, Matt Foltz, was down there. We just provided first aid if anybody needed it. I didn't give anything out. I don't know if Matt did or not, but we were present there and stuff.
Is there a lot of kids there?
There was like 103, I think they said. I don't know
That's good.
exactly, that's the number I heard. I don't know, did you hear? Is that what you heard, Scott? He was down there. Maybe you know. Equipment vehicles, mostly routine service. The 20, I don't have it on here, the 2024 had a little vibration, so we got another tire getting put on this morning for that, see if that resolves it. The garage door incident we had with the truck and garage door here in Marengo, the garage door is repaired. We're still waiting for the body shop to get the ambulance. It's just cosmetic, some paint scratched. That needs painted, but the insurance company covered up. All but $1,000 on that. We had the water heater replaced in Marengo. It was leaking. We caught it before it leaked too much. Didn't really do much damage, just dehumidifier and fans. Got the carpet wet. But, and then Dylan came down and cleaned the AC at the Marengo in the garage part of the building, the mini split. And then Evan and I have been
Working better.
yeah, seems to be, yeah. It's just one of those things we kind of forget about to get on the regular service schedule to clean it, so, and it looks a lot nicer. Evan and I spent some time last week, organizing our first aid / disaster trailer that we always get out for the fair, just store some extra equipment in it. It was purchased with a grant for disaster stuff, but we use it more for first aid. Tents and tables and chairs and a few extra medical supplies in there. Signs, first aid signs, kind of thing. It'll be down at the fair, if you're curious, so you can take a look at it. Personnel wise, Tim Finley started for us full-time about a month ago. And then Michael Morris was a full-time EMT, he just passed his paramedic certification. So we got them going, so we are fully staffed at the moment. Safety wise, I don't believe there was any injuries last month, just normal drug screens, background checks, physical test. No any injuries reported. We do have a safety meeting July 16th coming up. That's all I have for my main report, and then I'll got this HIPAA contract. So remember, kind of in the middle of
Yeah, we saved some
fiscal
money.
year 24, we did this change over to contract with ISAC for the HIPAA program. Well, now we're approaching July again, so they reached out to us to renew that. It was $1,750. Really, the old program was thousands.
14,000,
Yeah, it was thousands of dollars. This gal is really good that helps us with this.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Good, second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
And we'll have Kevin. You wanna do that one?
Here, can I make a copy of that?
Yeah.
Is it the
You
same
want a blank one for your records? Any other questions on this? You've seen us out a lot with the celebrations and the fair going on, so you want to stop by and meet any staff?
Oh, I already have. Yeah. I'm assuming you need this back, right?
Yeah, that's a signed one I
Yeah.
can send her.
Yeah.
And then I'll get a copy. I'll send you guys off. I'll keep one, but I'll send one
Okay,
to the auditor group I have, so you guys can figure out where.
thank you. Oh, did you need? Oh, shoot, I forgot the first part of that.
Oh, yeah, there's 3 pages to it.
Yeah, there you go, thanks. Jeez.
Okay. Got it all? All right. Anything else?
So with all that you changed, do we need to approve this or?
What else did I have on there?
AED policy, community access.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over that. Yes, sorry. So, back to talking about this community AD. So for the grant that Lori had to do, they requested a policy. for that. So we came up with a policy, collaboration between Iowa County Public Health and Iowa County EMS to utilize public health preparedness funds to prevent and reduce premature death and disability. Got some goals there. And then the plan, so we've identified locations, identify interested partners, which we've done, apply for the grant, she's done. Like the community partners had to provide the labor for installing the machines, that stuff. This is a little behind the 8 ball, but I mean, getting your approval, should have done this before. Training, education, kind of maintenance supplies. So Iowa County EMS will be responsible for checking these community access AEDs quarterly. So we'll go out, I will, or Evan will check these, or we'll have a first responder check them. We'll just make sure it gets done. And then public health will provide AED supplies if grant funds are available. If grant funds are not available, the collaboration, we may assist community partners in finding alternative funding or may offer supplies at a reduced rate. So basically, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. If we can't get the grant, it suddenly stops. And then if they use them, they're supposed to notify me. If the EMS provider, law enforcement, or public health provider is available at the scene of the event, they should put it back in the cabinet and make sure it's good to go. Equipment should be placed back in working order. Notify the EMS director of supplies. The EMS director or their designee will check the equipment in the AED cabinet with 72 hours. I figured I could probably get myself or somebody there within 3 days to make sure it's, I didn't want it too long, but I'm like, I can't do 24 hours. That's probably not. So,
Yeah.
but we'll be able to, I'm sure we'll make what's the staff we have, we can get it back at least functioning fairly shortly after the call. And then any supplies will be replaced as soon as possible. So pretty simple procedure, but yeah, if you guys want to give that your blessing, that would be great.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Usually no cover policy changes.
No, I don't think so. Will you send me, if you can have an extra copy of whatever you're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I just want to put it with the, I got it. I'm just gonna put it with the stuff.
I'll get it up online too.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get it today or Monday, but I'll get it up there.
Any other questions for Mr. Robbie? Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
See you at the 4th of July or the 3rd of July.
I'll see you 3rd of July. Be around.
That's it. Oh,
Try to have grass.
Hopefully I'm not looking up at you.
It's always the hope when you can't.
Who would you rather see, Keith? Thanks.
Okay, so we discussed earlier about the next week's agenda items. What do we have so far?
I'm just gonna be putting on compensation board utilization, and I'm gonna be keeping on the board of supervisors compensation board representative appointments for expiring terms, and I'm also gonna be keeping on basement computer wiring discussion to improve accessibility, and that's all I have.
Travis's contract.
Oh yeah, I put that on there. Sorry, I put that back on there. Travis.
At this time, is there anything else that anybody else wants to put on the agenda?
I can't think of anything.
I'd like to think July would be slow for us. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
You know, I used to run fast.